Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Love, Light, and Life Affirmed, your daily affirmations for self love and growth. Hi, Collective. Welcome back into the channel, you guys. So, this is going to be your shadow work oracle message for today. Like always, I'm just going to pull one card at a time, see what comes out, see what we need to be working on as far as our shadow work. Healing is a constant, so these are things that, while some of us have worked on, there's some of us who are not even aware that these things may need to be worked on, and some of us who have gone through the healing, with some of these. So let's just see what comes out. And like I said, we'll take it one card at a time. All right. Well, welcome back, all of my current followers and subscribers. Thank you guys for being here with me again. Thank you so much for all your love and support, you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. All of the incoming followers and subscribers, welcome to the family, you guys. I pray that you find the messages useful for you as well on the channel. And just as a reminder, you guys, make sure to check out the About section on the channel if you wanted to support the channel, the Etsy shop, or if you just needed to contact me. All right. Well, let's see what comes out, Collective. Let's see what comes out. Well, like I said, we'll just pull one at a time. Okay. First one out, unmasking truth. The eye sees only what the mind is prepared to know. Self-examining revelation. So this is about seeing things for what it is. This is about how the mind sometimes will create an illusion for itself when it doesn't want to deal with a particular trauma or a particular feeling in regards to a situation. So it's interesting how perception works in that way. Two people could be looking at the exact same thing but see them completely different. And they're going to see them completely different because of the experiences they've had in regards to that particular thing, person, place, or thing. So this shadow work is really about making sure that when we look at something, when we're trying to gain perspective on a particular topic or situation, that we are truly taking off the mask, truly looking at the truth of the situation. Because sometimes the mind will block out things that it doesn't want to address, deal with, right? So the eyes will only see what the mind is prepared to know and acknowledge. Okay. So it's important to make sure that we work on not, living a life based on an illusion, and that we really look at things for what they are in order to heal from them. Then we have positive change. Transform pain into strength and empower yourself. Ascend, evolution, and free. So this is about taking the pain from the trauma that we've gone through, from the heartbreak, from the disappointments, all the things that let us down, and changing that pain that we feel and turning it into something positive that can work for us. We don't have to let the pain that we go through, the pain that we feel, the disappointment, we don't have to let it stop us from moving forward in our life. We don't have to dwell. It's definitely recommended to feel through your emotions, to understand what happened in that particular situation, but you always have a way to be empowered. And the way to be empowered, Collective, is to take that pain that you felt, that painful situation, and turn it into something positive for yourself and empower yourself. Let it make you stronger, wiser. Okay, what else? This one wanted to come out. So this one is confront fear, but it came out in the reverse, as you can see. So confront fears. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. bravery, healing, reclaim. So with it coming out in the reverse, it's telling me that, it's a tough thing for most of us to do, is to confront our fears, to face that thing, that person, that situation, that memory, that trauma. It's hard to face something that brings fear to us. But the best thing to do in order to heal is to be brave, is to have courage, is to reclaim and empower yourself by taking that pain, by taking that knowledge of the situation and gaining a true perspective of what happened, and not be afraid to address it. Because as soon as you can address it, as soon as you can say what you need to say out loud, as soon as you can speak your truth, it will literally set you free. It will be a burden, a weight that has been lifted off of your shoulders. We can't change the things that have happened to us, collective. We can't go back to the past and, create a better picture of whatever it is that occurred. But we do have a choice in how we see it as we get older and realize we can become empowered if we choose to take that pain and turn it into something positive for us. And as long as we can learn to confront our fears and not be afraid of them, not let them keep us locked away in a corner, it will allow you to heal your mind and your heart. What else? Avoidance, and it came out in the reverse. So avoidance says it's key to see the need to avoid discomfort, but also to overcome it and thrive. Confrontation and progress. So with it coming in the reverse, that's good. That means that you're not avoiding the confrontation. You're not avoiding making progress. You're not avoiding the things that you really need to look at and to address. Avoidance in the reverse is somebody who is in a state of healing, who is looking at those things that they were afraid of because they want to gain a better perspective, have a better view of what it actually was that kept them stuck, that kept them acting out in these negative behaviors that they couldn't even understand. Most of the time we don't even understand why we act the way we do, why we avoid certain situations, why we treat people the way we treat them in relationships, because we are all products of our environment. We are all products of how we were raised, what we were told, what we've seen. So that's why our perspective, our perception, how we view things, it's always going to be different from person to person. But the most important thing is to be able to acknowledge those things that hold you back, those things that make you act in ways that you no longer favor, even for yourself. Emotional release, letting go, creates space for new beginnings. Some of you guys have not released those emotions yet. You have held things in for so long. This is why they have affected your behavior, your thought process. That's why maybe you are a little bit more pessimistic about life, because you have held in so many negative emotions, so many feelings of resentment. You've held grudges against people for sometimes 1 year. Sometimes I've seen people with grudges up to 30 and 40 years. That tells me that they have not lived their life to the fullest, because their mind has been preoccupied with so much negativity that they miss all the beautiful things. They miss the opportunities to grow and to evolve and to find inner peace, inner happiness, because all these things take up space, whether there's space in your mind or space in your heart. They take up space that can be used for something more positive, that can be used for you to open up your mind and be creative to something, to grow something. But when the mind is preoccupied with negativity, it misses opportunities. Sacred boundaries, respecting and honoring your limits sets you free. Assertiveness, self care. I feel like a lot of us, I'll give you this perspective regarding sacred boundaries. And I'll use myself as an example here. Again, because all of us are different. But when I think about sacred boundaries, when I think about respecting and honoring your limits and the self care, I know that it was very difficult for me to set boundaries when it came to my parents. And I say that because in my particular culture, it is very important that you respect your elders. This is how we grew up. This is what we were told. This was my upbringing. And while I still agree with that, what I didn't realize is that just because I need to respect my elders, it didn't mean that I couldn't have boundaries. It didn't mean that I couldn't set a boundary with my parents, but that's what it made me feel like. It made me feel like they needed to always have complete access to everything that was going on in my life, and that I always had to listen to everything they had to say and follow everything that they told me because what? Parents know best, right? Until maybe 6 years ago, I was going through a very tough time in my life. I was going through a divorce and a separation. And I feel like it made the situation more difficult for me. And I'm sorry this is a little bit personal. And I'm sorry if this is not something that you're interested in hearing, but I feel like sharing my personal experience helps you to understand my thought process and why I try to provide the advice and the wisdom that I do, because I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of things that people don't even know about, even people that are very close to me. So I say this to say I didn't realize how important it was to have boundaries, even with my own parents. And when I was going through my separation and my divorce, I feel like having everybody involved in that situation, everybody having a say so, everybody having an opinion, it actually made the situation much more stressful because I feel like there were no boundaries. I feel like there was boundaries that I needed to set, but I wasn't even in the right mindset to realize the additional stress and tension that not having boundaries played in that situation on me. And I think after going through that and actually finally completing that process and starting my life over, it was easier for me to see that that was the problem. One of my problems was not setting boundaries with people, not making it very clear to people what I was willing to accept as far as their behavior towards me and what I was not. So people had a lot of control over how I thought, the things that I did or didn't do, even into my adulthood. And so that's why I feel like having boundaries, making sure that people respect and honor your limits, it definitely sets you free. But you have to be assertive in letting people know where you stand. Because if you're not assertive, and if your boundaries are a little bit soft, and maybe you have a boundary today, but tomorrow you let your guard down and you don't really have a boundary, it's inconsistent. People won't believe you. They won't respect your boundary. So you have to make it very clear where you stand for people to truly hear you and understand where you're coming from. And this could be not even just with parents, this could be in a job setting, this could definitely be in a relationship setting, marriage setting. It could even be with your friends. In any situation, it is very important to make sure that you set boundaries with people, because it is self care when you can make sure that people cannot overstep. That ensures that people think twice before they try to disrespect you, or before they try to control you in a situation and try to make you do something that you don't want to do. They will realize that it won't be that easy to just get you to listen to whatever they say. So that's very important, collective. And I hope that you guys are okay with me sharing that with you. But I just felt like somebody needed to hear that. Maybe some of you are in a situation where you are going through a separation or a divorce, or you are having issues with boundaries when it comes to your parents, because maybe your whole life they've always been in control. But you are at the point where you are tired of it because you feel like they really don't understand you. They really don't understand what's best for you. And it doesn't mean that their opinions are not valid or they don't matter, or that you just have to stop listening to them altogether. But I feel like at some point in life, in order to really know where we're going, to know who we are, we have to make our own choices and decisions. And we have to trust in the decisions that we make for ourselves. And the more that you do that, the more that those external factors will start to see that you believe in yourself, and they will start to feel less and less that they need to be in control. So I hope that was helpful. I'm going to pull a few cards from our Repair, Evolution, and Growth deck. Let's just see a few other things that we can be working on here. I hope you guys are enjoying the message. I hope that it's been useful for you as well. If you guys have any type of similar stories or you're okay with sharing, I would love to hear it and connect with you. Let's see. Let's just pull a few from here. One, two. That's good. So let's see. What else will be helpful for the collective at this time? Protection needed. Shield. It is vital at this time to protect your energy field, as others may be projecting negative energy onto you. You also may be in an environment for which you are absorbing negative vibes that are draining you. Call in Archangel Michael for protection and to clear your energy field. Having a practice of grounding and putting a protective bubble around you every day will be helpful. So, as you guys are dealing with working on your healing, working on trying to become better, working on trying to evolve, a lot of the times people are not going to truly support you right away. They're not going to be encouraging. And that's not everyone, obviously. Some of us are very lucky to have people who truly see us and support us. But a lot of the times, there could be people in your energy and your, around you every day that you see at work, even family, who will say that they support you. But sometimes they'll say that because they feel they have to, but because they truly don't understand you, they still will project negative energy towards you, but they'll keep it to themselves. But it's still a projection, it's still something negative, it's not positive, and it's not supportive. So just make sure to always protect yourself, limit, being around people who are not supportive of you while you are going through your healing, okay? And then we have Radiant Goddess Acceptance. You are an amazing goddess, ready to fully understand how significant you are. Tap into your power by owning your beauty and potential, by not making any apologies for it. Yes, we are all beautiful and radiant gods and goddesses in our own right. But I feel like through life experiences, it's so easy to forget that point. It's so easy to forget who we are because we've been told our whole life who we should be. So I feel like a lot of us are on a path of just discovering who we are as a person. But remember how amazing you are, how beautiful you are from the inside out. And even if you feel like there's things that you need to work on, just the simple fact that you've accepted that and you've acknowledged that there's work that's necessary for you to grow, that is still a beautiful thing, because so many people don't take accountability for their actions, for their thoughts. So the fact that you are and you're willing to take the leap and have courage to try to work towards your healing, that's such a beautiful thing. You have to let go of something good to get something great. Taking the leap into the unknown can be scary, but you are being called to have faith in yourself and the universe. If you want to experience the next level of success, you cannot stay comfortable. Enjoy the journey. And we should. You know, it's really not ever about the destination collective. It is literally about enjoying the journey along the way. It is about being excited about learning more things about who you are deep down. It's more about becoming creative again and being able to express yourself, maybe in a way that you haven't been able to because your mind has been so focused on so many negative things that it didn't have space for anything positive or good to come in. But as you begin to heal and acknowledge the things that you need to work on to become a better person, that's exactly what happens. You start to fall in love with you again. You start to see yourself in a different way when you look at yourself in the mirror. And it's not in a way that others see you, because others' opinions will stop mattering so much. It will only be your voice, your opinion that matters, which is exactly where you want to be. All right, you guys, that's what I have for this message. I pray that it was helpful for you. I would love, like I said, to know if that is helpful. Please hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and follow me. But until the next time, you guys, bye.